Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Not a Trekkie, an all-everything Star Wars podcast brought to you by Red Cyclone Inc. Everything from New Hope to Rogue One, even that solo one, from Anakin and Obi-Wan to Rey left being the only one. Now, I cannot stress this anymore. There is no hate. This ain't Stargate, this ain't Star Trek, this is Star Wars. I'm your host, Tenacious T. Alongside me, the Merc with the mic.
What is going on? You actually got it perfect this time.
I know, man. Yeah, I've been practicing.
Twice.
Yeah, I've been practicing, man. I definitely want to do things differently in this cast than the first one. But yes, welcome to Not a Trekkie. This is episode 2.
Episode 2.
If you are tuning in now, please go back to our last previous cast where we did a review of a Star Wars: A New Hope.
A New Hope.
Which, definitely started a whole big world that a lot of people weren't ready for at that time.
And at the time when it came out, it was its own thing. Like, there was nothing really out there.
I mean, you had like Star Trek. You know what I mean?
Star Trek wasn't Star Wars. Like, Star Trek was more. Alright, you're putting like Star Wars,
like the world of space. You know what I mean? Like, I get like the cinema-ness. I get the like the cinematic.
Even Lost in Space was kind of like more discoveries.
Yeah.
Star Trek was more discovery. It wasn't really action. It was more like learning about other.
I completely get exactly what you're saying.
Species and.
But in the world of sci-fi, which this is, they had things out there, not as impactful.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek actually was a failure. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that show lasted one season, and we still talk about it today. Yeah. You know what I mean? We had, like, Lost in Space. We had things like that. It's not this.
Yeah.
It's not Star Wars. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You had none. And then also it had a strong toy line. Even though I never liked the toys, it had a really strong toy line.
Well, like, the old toys, like the original, I actually really liked them.
I hated them.
I really do, man. I still, to this day, I want that Millennium Falcon, the 1977 Millennium Falcon. The thing was actually made before the Falcon was even created, which is crazy.
So they had to be like, fuck, we gotta make it like that anyway.
Yeah, no, like, I think Lucas, had to make it to the toy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the toy came first.
Yeah. Well, they had to have like the designs of the toys and everything because what he used were models. There weren't like anything. They were models.
And like Boba Fett was created before Boba Fett was real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the
Holly.
That is like the holy grail of toys. Yeah. You know what I mean? That nobody actually really owns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yes. So this is episode 2. Please go back if you have not checked it out to our first cast of New Hope. This is Empire Strikes Back.
This is my favorite, hands down, my favorite Star Wars.
This is probably the most fan favorite movie of them all. You know what I mean? And rightfully so. I completely agree with it. I think that this was what we know as Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, A New Hope wasn't really supposed to last past A New Hope. Yeah. They thought that was a one and done. And then the fanfare made sure that it happened. You know what I mean? So
I think Empire, what it did for me when I saw Empire was first things first. This is the first movie that showed like there were other planets that are actually living, existing planets. So you had like Hoth, Dagobah.
Yeah.
They went to different locations and you saw a wider world of the different species, the different.
There was actually only 2 worlds in Empire Strikes Back.
Huh? There
was only 2 worlds.
Yeah, Hoth and Dagobah.
Yeah, that's it.
And
you
then
know what I mean?
Cloud City.
Yeah, Cloud City's not a world.
But
it's
Cloud
a floating ship.
It's still a fucking.
But it's a ship.
But it's still a community. It's still a colony.
Of course, so but it's not a world. It showed
more in that sense.
And now it's short-lived. You know what I mean? So
Cloud City.
But by far, this is definitely.
This is my favorite Star Wars movie, like hands down. I think this had everything, as in it had the action, it had the drama, it had the shit that you like. Oh shit, I gotta watch the next one.
Yeah.
It had everything that it needed to have in this movie. So I think this is what you will like. If I had to say, you need to see one Star Wars movie, this would be the movie.
Yes, but don't go into it just starting with this movie. You have to go back to the beginning where it began. A New Hope In order to get it, no, you have to. You can't just walk into it, bro. You literally the start of the movie. We're on Hoth, and why are they there? Why is Darth Vader chasing them? He literally in the beginning of this movie, actually the whole movie is his main focus is to find Luke.
Yeah.
Why is he trying to find Luke for?
Like one thing I will say with especially because now if you did watch it on Disney Plus, it's the remake version, it's not the original cut.
Well, which will maybe I think they're actually pushing to try and get those out more.
Yeah, so I think that kind of butchered some things of this movie, but if you watch the original cut, I think it made more sense to why he's going after.
Yeah.
In that sense, like they kind of had to make it that I didn't know Luke.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I don't know Luke.
I just feel this force.
I feel this wind.
This force that's brushing up on me.
This wind of gas.
Well, let's give a little quick recap of New Hope so we can go into Empire Strikes Back properly. Okay.
Watch Blue Moon from Family Guy. That's the perfect version of it.
No, I 100% agree, and I went and watched it right after our cast, and it was amazing. And I'm be honest, I'm not the greatest Family Guy fan. You know, I get the appeal, and I do enjoy it, and I do like it. I agree as well. It's probably one of my favorite because I've been really engulfed in Star Wars for the last the last 10 years of my life. You know what I mean, like hardcore. So, but
more recent.
So, which is good. It's always good to refresh it. You get a new feel for it, new appeal, maybe a new outlook on it because you're analyzing it more than just viewing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's also more the fact that, one, we started this cast, and then two, Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mandalorian is the truth.
And if you haven't watched that season finale, go fucking watch it.
I have to. I mean, it just aired last night, and obviously I work overnight, and then I actually just saw the episode 9 this morning, which I will not spoil nothing, but go and see that movie. Yeah. It's worth it, 100%. But let's go, quick little recap. I'm not going to spend too much time on A New Hope because we had a whole cast for that. Basically, we have this orphan who's raised, right? He looking for a new purpose in life, wants to join the Rebel Alliance. So he teams up with another group of misfits, Han Solo and Chewbacca, to go and search, for basically their rites of passage. You know what I mean? You got Princess Leia, who sends out a message because she gets an urgent thing of what Darth Vader is doing. Darth Vader is our villain. You know what I mean? So, push comes to shove, they had to go and blow up the Death Star. Yeah. There you go. That is New Hope in a nutshell. You know what I mean? Like I said, go back to our previous cast, and that will be informed to you. my tablet is going off right now.
Yeah, so you hit it like that.
But yes, so we literally go in from the blowing up of the Death Star straight to it's like 3 years later.
Yeah, it's about 3 years.
It's about 3 years later. Like Darth Vader has been searching the universe for a long time. He has I think a million different satellites going out. Like those little I forget the names of them. Yeah. The little things that are always in all the video games. They're always doing it. So they find this planet that is Hoth. Yeah. Full of ice. Icy.
I won't live there.
Oh, hell no. I wouldn't live in Tatooine. Tatooine was a dual star planet that was full of fucking dirt. Sand. And blue milked fucking things that you had to...
some way you're going to get sand on all your cracks.
It definitely is. But that's where, because Darth Vader destroyed the Rebel base in A New Hope. So
well, they had to go back in hiding, and that's the reason why they picked Hoth, because they didn't expect no one to go to Hoth.
Because it's fucking cold as hell. You can't be out at a certain time, you know what I mean?
So we start off with Luke.
Yeah, he's patrolling. Yeah. And then he sees something, he gets a reading. Because, not a reading, an asteroid hit. So he goes... and he gets captured by the abominable snowman. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we flash over to Han Solo and Princess Leia, who basically is doing the same shit they did in the first movie, just really confessing how much they love for each other by hating on each other the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody realizes that Luke's gone for a while, and then Han Solo's like, "Fuck this, let's go. Let me go find him." And they're like, "No, you have to stay. He's gonna get cold. You're gonna freeze." He's like, "I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go."
Yeah.
So, which this scene inside the cave itself was actually really important because it's the first time you see like Luke Skywalker in a predicament where he's actually believing in the Force to try and get him out of it. You know what I mean?
He's trying to, get
he's
the
hanging upside
lightsaber.
down and his lightsaber is in the snow. So he uses the Force to grab it and he chops the fucking abominable snowman's arm off.
Yep. Sorry,
You know what I
Drunken
mean?
Yeti.
Yeah, just sadly Beebs. Shout out to the Beebs.
Shout out to the Beebs.
But
Bye-bye, arm.
yeah, so
You know what? That kind of... There's like karma coming back.
yeah, no, it definitely is.
It's like it's an innocent animal. You cut his arm off.
Yeah, he was just doing what he was. Yo, I mean,
He was hungry.
Yeah, he was,
It's
and
cold.
he ate the tauntaun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The tauntaun is the thing that they
Yeah.
they ride on. He was eating, yo. He's like picking his teeth with the bones and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally looked like the abominable snowman from
Like the old
from like the Christmas.
the Christmas movies.
Yeah, like
and
the
all.
here Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
Yeah.
and what was the other one? In Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sort of looked
Like
just
Sully?
like that.
Yeah,
but-
he looked like Sully.
Yeah, but then Han Solo. He actually in this movie, I feel like he presented himself more as the hero now. You know what I mean? He started taking that role a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's still reluctant, but he's not
was
doing
more
it for
scared-
a purpose.
He was more scared of the debt he owed than him like helping the rebels out. He was just scared that I'm gonna get killed because
Yeah, no, but he even said he's like I'm doing this for Luke. Like he went out to find Luke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He went out in the cold. He was like, yo, the tauntaun is not even gonna make it.
Yeah. This
The
is
heart's
actually a
gonna
memorable
freeze.
scene too when he stuffs Luke
Yeah,
in
no,
the tauntaun.
which, but yo, tell me that scene isn't awesome because Han Solo. That's when you see him with a fucking lightsaber in
yeah,
his
it's the
hand.
first time he actually holds one.
And I feel like it's just due that he should have a lightsaber in his hand because I mean he's always shooting motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
I feel like if he had the option, he won't use it.
Yeah, no.
He'd rather shoot somebody.
I feel like he would accidentally hit himself. You know
Like,
what I mean?
what happened
Like,
to your leg? I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I got a fake leg. I walk with a limp now. Chewbacca had a mullet before today.
Like really thinking about the lightsaber and all, like how powerful it is and how it cuts people and you never hear about the failed attempts of Jedi.
Yeah, no, well, the only thing that we ever get is like how shitty the stormtroopers are. You know what I mean? That's that in that whole world is like how bad they are frowned upon the most.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them. It's not their fault.
I didn't teach
They're
them
just
right.
following orders. They're not evil.
No, they just
Following orders. They don't
they
want to
got-
get
they got
choked out by
9 to 5
fucking Darth Vader.
they're on the job.
That's all Darth Vader does is choke motherfuckers.
He got tired of people, man.
You know what I mean?
And his fucking egg.
Yeah. But yeah, so Han Solo saves the day, brings him back, and this is when one of the most awkward moments, and we don't know this at the time,
Yeah.
but as the time goes by in Star Wars lore and world, you know what I mean? Like this becomes a very weird situation.
Yeah.
Like Han Solo and Leia are going at it again, and she's like, "Yeah, well, you think you fucking know everything," and then she walks over and kisses Luke on the mouth. You know what I mean? Not knowing future is that is your motherfucking brother, you incestuous little princess.
You know what's funny? And maybe it's just the ending, but like that ending scene, all I could think about is like, I kissed my brother. What the fuck? Stop holding me like that.
Just she kissed him twice in this movie.
Yeah. One of the things that happened in the cave was Ben Kenobi spirit came out and said, "Oh, you need to go to Dagobah to train."
And I have it actually written down in my notes too. I'm not even really looking at my notes
Yeah.
right now because this is Empire Strikes Back. Like, come on, you don't even fucking need this.
Exactly.
But this motherfucker's dead and still barking orders.
I know, like, yo, you dead.
I'm hanging upside down, bro, and you're telling me I have to go find Yoda.
You know what that bothers me? And then watching the new ones and shit, they like the ghost could do shit. Like, yo, what's up with Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi? He could help him off the damn thing.
Why is it old Ben and not young Ben and old and you know what I mean? Like, If this is like the new shit, why isn't young Ben coming in?
You know that was a confusing thing because you remember in Return of the Jedi it was like Anakin before all the fucking
exactly.
It was an old Anakin though.
No, it was young Anakin.
No, it was an older Anakin.
No, this was Anakin in, like Revenge of the Sith Anakin.
But it was just before his
dark side settled in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was it wasn't like hating Christensen, but it was a Anakin.
Yeah.
No,
it was him.
Well, in the original one in Return of the Jedi, when he first saw the ghost of Anakin.
Oh, so it was somebody else.
It was someone else.
Okay.
It was an older guy.
I don't remember that honestly because that is such a vague memory of the original ones.
I think that's what hurts this series a lot. Is the fact that a lot of people are not seeing the original cuts. You're seeing the digitally enhanced versions.
Yeah.
And I think the original cuts are made to tell these stories.
I think they're actually probably more known than the old ones. It's just like the lore of like, oh, there's old ones out there that we can't watch.
But I think it's more the fact they're more accessible.
Yeah.
That's what hurts it.
I mean, everything's digital these days, so it's
Disney
like that's
Plus.
the first thing that pops up.
Like Disney
you know
Plus,
what I mean?
And
there's like 3 different versions of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, yeah. Most part 3. But it was originally the fat. It was a fat old Anakin.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Hayden Christensen or anything.
It was probably that Italian guy who played, not David Prowse, who was actually in the suit, who gets no recognition whatsoever.
I met him before in a Comic-Con.
Yo, listen, man, you have to watch that fucking documentary, I Am Your Father.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing. It's actually really sad. It's like he got blacklisted because in interviews, now lucky this isn't like the digital age and the media days that it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he got blacklisted because he gave away the endings of the movies. You know what I mean? Like that's why he got blacklisted.
Yeah.
Like why it was like 3 different people played it. It was one guy in a suit. It was James Earl Jones as the voice.
Yeah.
And then it was there was an Italian actor who actually played him in Return of the Jedi when you actually get to see his face.
Yeah.
But in the sequence of Empire Strikes Back, right after that whole scene of saving Luke, you flash to probably one of the greatest visuals ever. And I was watching it on the Disney Plus. Like, all you see is Darth Vader, the back of Darth Vader's helmet. Like, it's like the power of this man alone.
Yeah.
The back of his helmet is just dope. Yeah. And you just see the sky, the skyline. Oh, you can't really say sky. I guess it would be the space line, right? Space. And it's just like the glare in like 1080p, bro.
Yeah.
It was just like, that is like, I saw it in a poster. You know what I mean? Like, you can frame the shit out of that and it would just look dope as hell. But, like, he's one of the few people that he walks in a room and, like, he just by looking at him demands respect. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably, besides the Joker, he's probably the biggest iconic villain ever.
He is considered in multimedia. He is the most
number one. He's the most recognizable pop culture villain ever, and then the Joker would come second.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think that's a fair assumption right there. But Darth Vader, been around forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this is the first time you actually see his egg.
Well, yeah, not yet. In a little bit. Yeah. In a little bit. But yeah, no, in this movie, yeah. Which is nuts, bro. Yeah. Like, if you weren't scared of him before, when they were putting his helmet on,
you saw the scars,
the back of his head, bro. It was like a skull. It was just like a skull and like burnt skin hanging off.
But you actually really think about it when you first watched this movie, you didn't know if
anything.
So now you know he's a human and a robot. Like, when you first see Darth Vader, you think he's kind of more mechanical than anything, but then
you don't even know he's a person.
Exactly. So this is like the big shit.
Oh my lord!
And then he has an egg. I don't know why the egg. Like,
well, no, the egg. Actually, I read up on the thing that he's in. Right, that's
his chamber.
It's his chamber. It's the only thing that he can be in and breathe without his breathing stuff.
It's kind of like Kylo Ren's little fucking room.
Yes, but this one, he was just a sustainable area, so he doesn't have to have his helmet on. Yeah. As we find out later in Star Wars episodes that he needs the helmet and the mask in order to live. Yeah, you know what I mean? So this is one chamber, which you actually get to see a better view of in Rogue One. Yeah, you do. Which is dope as shit, which is one of the greatest scenes ever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What in Hoth?
But now, they find the Rebel base.
Yes.
On Hoth, right? And turns to one of the dopest battle scenes ever, bro. Like just the AT-ATs and the ATSTs
honestly,
and stuff.
I think this is probably one of Star Wars' most iconic fights.
It's
in every fucking game.
Bro, if that's not Shadow of the Empire, I don't know what it is, bro. Because when you're flying in the X-wing and you're fucking,
it's the snow.
Yeah, snowboard. I think it's probably Hoth in the game too.
I forgot the name of the snow the spaceship itself. I forgot the name of it. But the snow, I fucking forgot the name of it. But there was the snow patrol ones.
The ones that the short legs. It's the ATS.
No, the AT-ATs. No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the spaceships they used. The Rebel.
Oh.
I forgot what the name was, but they were that was the reason why they became popular because of the scene.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even know the name of that. That's something that we would have to go and check up real quick.
AT-ATs. I call them AT-ATs. People call them AT-ATs. I hate that.
Well, no. Well, it's AT-ATs actually stand for all-terrain armored transport.
Yeah.
And then the little short ones with the little short legs that just run around and just shoot shit. Those are the ATSTs, and those are all-terrain scout transports. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they were just so dope. Like for that time, just watching like these big ass dog things. You saw that meme that I put out on Red Cyclone Inc.
Yeah.
Everybody go right now if you get it when you get a chance. Honestly, go to Facebook and go to
Snowspeeder,
Instagram and go like and follow Red Cyclone Inc. for us, please.
Yes, please.
But yeah, no, there was a picture of the AT-AT standing by the window. It's like every time it snows, it just wants to go outside. It looks like a dog at the window. Yeah. It's such a good photo.
Yeah.
But that scene definitely goes down as probably one of the most iconic battle scenes ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even today, looking at it now, like it was really done good.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And it's funny to think that that George Lucas had nothing to really do with this movie.
No, he didn't. He didn't direct it either.
No, he didn't direct. He just wrote it,
and
he didn't do nothing. And there is a little. It's not really a fact, but there's been a rumor for years that he states that this was his least favorite Star Wars out of it. But that's because everybody thinks he's kind of salty. But that whole, like I said, that whole scene with just them trying to destroy these things and they're getting
with the snow speeders
and you know what I mean, and they wrap the legs around and they're triumphant. You know what I mean?
Very epic scene. But Darkseid was prevailed. They did blow up their fucking the shields and everything.
Luke leaves in his spaceship thing, and Han Solo and Chewie are frantically trying to put the Millennium Falcon together.
Yeah.
Because and it's so funny because I grew up thinking like, Millennium Falcon's the most badass space thing. And in the lore of Star Wars, it's actually a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I never saw it that way.
Ever. For the most part.
He's yelling at Chewie, and they finally get away. You know what I mean? So, Luke, his mission, he goes to what was the name of the planet?
Dagobah.
So he goes there to go and find the Jedi Master Yoda. You know what I mean? And
I love Yoda.
And at the same time, Han Solo and all them, they're still dodging fucking Darth Vader. Yeah. Darth Vader actually came into the compound that they were. And you know what I mean? And fucked shit up.
And I like, you know what?
He gets his hands dirty.
One thing I like, and this is something I always liked about the dark side, they always have outfits for everything. They had the snow outfits.
I wonder where all this funding is coming from.
I wonder too.
Those taxpayers must be furious.
Because honestly, this is the first. This is also the first appearance of all the other spaceships too.
Yeah.
You got the TIE bombers. Which
the TIEs is probably besides the Millennium Falcon is probably the most recognizable.
Well, you got the TIE fighters in the last.
There's like 4 different TIE fighters.
So you had Vaders and then the regular TIE fighters in the first one.
Yeah, they got the E2.
This one you got the bombers. You got the TIE bombers. You got the Star Destroyers. You got the Executioner, which is the biggest fucking ship.
Yeah.
That's there. That's that long motherfucker. And that's the one where his egg is at.
Love that. I love that egg.
You got appearances of like a lot of new fucking vehicles.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Well, this one they went all out in this one. They
that was a lot of toys.
They knew they had some shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Because now this made sure that there was going to be a trilogy.
You got the first appearance of that duck-looking one. I always forget the name of that.
I was actually at work this morning. I was looking up the 40 top vehicles in Star Wars, and I guarantee that's on the list.
Yeah.
It's too much for me to
That was
grasp.
like the Imperial transport. That's what they call it.
I'm in it, but I'm not in it like
But
like.
I remember that one being the first appearance of that. That's the one that pretty much transports.
Oh, you talk about the triangle one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So like you got a lot of that. So all I see honestly when I watch it, I'm like I see all the toys that they made off of this shit. But and also you got Luke's X-wing. He flew that to Dagobah. And he got trapped in a swamp.
No, but just like to think he traveled through space and that thing can't go into light speed. You know how long it must have took him to get to that fucking planet? With no food, no water, no place to take a shit. You know what I mean? Like,
those are things they don't explain.
I know, but me being a realist that I am, you know what I mean? But
it's like things they just don't explain.
so Luke basically he crash lands on this. Well, if you really want to call it a landing, it's not really a landing. He just the whole planet is a fucking swamp. It reminds me of Swamp Thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know the whole time he's always feeling something. Yeah. And I actually did some reading on it, and what he was feeling wasn't actually Yoda watching them. He felt the whole planet was a force of Yoda. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, his being was that powerful that it was all around him, and he couldn't really pinpoint it until he actually saw this little green, froggy-looking, big-eared, hairy, wrinkly kind of thing. And the way Yoda played him in the beginning,
I loved it.
It was so good, man. It really was.
He beat the shit out of R2-D2.
Yeah, he's like doot 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 doot. He played so dumb.
That shit had me rolling. I was like, beat the shit out of R2-D2.
I loved every second of it.
And I loved how naive. Like he knew he was old. Yeah. But he played it.
Yeah, nah. Yeah. He played it so good, bro. He must have done that numerous times.
I feel like he was like acting like he couldn't walk, and then when you walk away, he's like,
"You see me not."
Yeah.
He's he's probably the only character I can literally deal with speaking in tongues. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he talked backwards.
He just talked backwards. He speaks in verbs or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
it's
he talks. He says the verb first, and then he says the
speaking in verbs. That's basically what it is. But he makes you think. Even when he was playing dumb, he had me thinking. You know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, I'll take you to him." You know what I mean? Yeah. But you want to know something funny? Is the second that he knew that he was Yoda, his whole mannerism changed, like, and you felt the power of him. Like, he went from a little fucking small little goofy creature to like the all-knowing, the all-being, the man behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it was. Like, his everything changed. His eyes changed. He's like, I can't teach this fool. He's incompetent.
You know the crazy story? So there's a big story into this that I just kind of want to do is not. I don't think it's canon anymore, but it kind of makes sense into the canon. So I remember reading about this. I remember actually reading. I think it was one of the Dark Horse comics after it was supposed to be within the thing. Yoda never wanted to train Luke Skywalker. He never saw anything in him.
No, not at all.
He wanted to train Leia. He didn't want to train Luke.
Well,
he wanted Leia.
I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not gonna say nothing.
But like, if you go to honestly, you're not gonna spoil anything like that. But this is one of the big storylines. Yeah. Honestly, I remember reading it during the prequels times. During the prequels, I remember reading it and whatnot, and it was just like he never felt he never felt strong about Luke. Luke was kind of like, all right, fine, I'll train him. Yeah. He wanted Leia. I think he wanted Leia because he saw the potential besides her power.
Well, he even said it in the movie. He was like, he's literally having a conversation with Obi-Wan when Luke is standing right there, like, Luke's not even there. You know what I mean? He's like, I can't train this fool. Mm-hmm. He's incompetent. He has no patience. Exactly. And he's like... And then Obi-Wan's like, no, he is who we need. And Yoda's like, he's not the only one.
And that's the one he wanted.
But there's also a theory behind that it was Anakin that he was talking about. Because Anakin...
It wasn't Anakin.
Anakin in the Last Jedi... not the last... Return of the Jedi is the one that saved the day. at the end of it.
But no,
I'm just saying the theory. I'm not saying
it
that's
wasn't
right
Anakin
or not.
because remember, if you even go to the prequels, Yoda didn't want no interest in Anakin.
Yes,
he saw the dark side in him.
But like I said, the theory is that Yoda saw forward and knew that Anakin was going to prevail at the end. You know what I mean? It could be tossed up in any direction.
I feel the Leia makes more sense.
But in this movie, we would not ever even know that.
Like we had no clue.
Absolutely.
That's why I just brought it up. Just put a picture of it.
Yeah.
And going into it,
I mean, this is how this is supposed to be done.
Because I remember directly in the prequels, Yoda was like, "Fuck that kid."
Yeah, no. But then Obi-Wan's literally like, "Yeah, well, you basically said the same shit about me. I was just like him when I came in," which I don't believe. Let's get an Obi-Wan origin story movie.
Yeah,
how about that? I think that would be fucking dope. We're
gonna get a second Yoda. We're gonna get sideburns, like 70s Yoda.
In a dashiki.
Dashiki Yoda. Crack up people's asses and
shit. Smoking a peace pipe. Bumping Cheech and Chong in the background.
Oh, man.
That would be hilarious.
We're gonna have Baby Yoda and then 70s Crazy Yoda.
That's funny. That's funny.
But those are again. I don't say they're canon because again, there's a lot of things that are not canon anymore because the Disney took over.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stories that they don't even connect. They did connect some Dark Raven shit, but that was actually this is in the here and there with the podcast what we're doing right now. But I thought it was interesting because the other person for me going back to the scene, I see that the other person's Leia.
Yeah.
And
I mean, after knowing all, because we've seen it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can see that, and I do agree with it.
Yeah.
I do like to listen to and read different theories and stuff like that because it's not law until it comes out of Lucas's mouth.
Exactly. And
then I think Lucas is bullshit fucking half the time too. He probably just makes things up on a whim.
You know what? I feel that he wrote a script and the director was like, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Fuck that. Get rid of that.
Fuck that motherfucker.
He's ugly.
The only ones he had full control over were the prequels.
Well, yeah.
And the first movie.
And he likes Jar Jar Binks.
Lucas.
You are, I don't know, man. You were one and done to me, brother.
You're
a good writer, but I don't know about everything else. But now
you gotta stick to that weed, man.
Now let's get back to the matter at hand. But he knew that Luke was gonna fail.
Yeah.
He said it because Luke's focus is elsewhere.
Yeah.
He's very emotional. He's a teenager. What do you expect? I don't even know how old he actually is.
It's like a dramatic change of the years apart because Mark Hamill aged terribly.
I actually heard I was reading something as well. The scars that was on his face after getting hit by the abominable snowman actually happened in real life because he was in a car accident. Yeah. So they played that into it to make it seem like that. But
and then he also he just aged terribly. He aged like old milk.
Yeah. That's so bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he's always the trickster to me now. You know what I mean? When you look at him visually.
Yeah.
Or a cock knocker.
Cock knocker.
From Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
I gotta watch that second
But
one.
so basically we get back to the matter at hand. We flash back to Darth Vader. He's back on the ship. He's just choking motherfuckers. Yeah. You failed me. Your excuses is nothing. You know what I mean? I'm surprised he even has an army with the amount of people he just kills. Why don't these motherfuckers just well, actually, no. I know the answer to that question. It's the man can reach across time and choke the shit out of people. You know what I mean?
They don't have a union. I think he killed the union rep.
They weren't evil enough. It's like Dr. Evil.
We don't make you a union.
Is it an evil petting zoo? But every scene with him, they're on the ship. He's just, he's blew up his fucking Death Star. I can understand why he's pissed off.
Yeah, it was
I feel like also the whole ship is designed to make him always standing up above people.
Yeah.
Because he's tall as it is, but everybody's sitting below a deck as he's walking down a runway. You know what I mean?
Look up at me.
I'm Fashion Esquire over here. It's Darth Vader. I thought that was funny.
Man. But it was a big thing with the whole Vader and the scenes that he had, like especially when they introduced the egg, and after the dude saw him and shit like that, he didn't give a fuck. He was like, "Yeah, that's my badass cause."
Yeah, bitch, you got something to say about that? I'll choke you. I just killed 2 of your fucking generals.
I'll put you as a stormtrooper.
I feel like I said, man, I feel bad for the stormtroopers, bro. They did nothing wrong. They just following fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we
got pretty much like a Rocky-esque thing with Luke Skywalker training to be a Jedi.
Well, he goes into that cave. You know what I mean?
Well, before that, he got like kind of a Rocky thing. He was like doing one-arm push-ups with Yoda on his back.
Yoda probably only weighs like 40 pounds, to be honest.
Yeah.
That little toad looking. Still to this day, we don't know what the fuck he is.
No,
Hence why the Mandalorian is Baby Yoda. But I have this thing, and I said it to you earlier. It's like, when you're dating somebody and you're like, yo, I wonder what that person's going to look like when they get older. And so you look at their parents and you see what they look like. I'm sorry for all the Baby Yoda people. Enjoy that now. In 800 years, he's going to be an ugly motherfucker. Okay? So that's what you're getting yourself into. Yoda tells him even, he's like, yo, I've been training Jedis for 800 years. Yeah. You don't think I know what the fuck I'm doing? You know what I mean? But how the hell is anybody supposed to lift up rocks while they're fucking one arm doing, a handstand with Yoda in your fucking ear speaking in tongues? I would be aggravated.
But that's the test.
The test is to keep your mind off of the fact that you can't do it.
Yeah.
But put your mind over the fact that you're the one that's stopping you from doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's all your fault.
So that's why when he told him to go, his mission was to go to the cave and then find himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't need any weapons. Just fucking go in there.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck that. And that was his first mistake. He didn't believe in himself.
Yeah.
So everything that happened in the cave is actually going through his head and what willed it into existence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden you see Darth Vader walking in, and it's the first scene that you don't hear the Imperial music in the background because it's not really him. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta watch that to catch that.
Yeah,
Every time you see Darth Vader, you hear the Imperial music in the background. You know what I mean? So then, and then Luke Skywalker's the first one to draw the lightsaber. So then Darth Vader draws the lightsaber, and then they go into a battle, and then he kills Darth Vader, and then he realizes it's him. That's the first sign of the dark side trying to influence Luke.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah, and that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an epic scene. You know what's funny is that I actually love that. So, I love the Lego games. And
I've
Lego
never played
Star
any
Wars.
of them.
The Lego Star Wars games are amazing.
I heard they're like verbatim, just like the movie.
They're exactly, but with their sense of humor.
Okay.
So...
Like
so
Lego Batman the movie kind of thing?
That scene when he fights himself as Darth Vader, when he breaks the thing, you see him going,
That's funny.
So that's what I thought about it in my head. Seriously, they just announced that Lego is making the whole Skywalker the whole Skywalker, the whole 7 and 9 movies.
Is it gonna go into theaters or is it gonna be?
No, they're making a Lego game.
Oh man, I'll play that shit in a heartbeat.
So,
I actually really enjoyed all 3 of the Skywalker movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but in general, like that game's coming out, so I will buy it because I actually love the.
I thought they already had the Force Awakens on it.
They did Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And then they did the old ones and stuff, but they're gonna put everything combined. What they do is great is the fact that they retell the story with their sense of humor, and the sense of humor is sometimes you get some really retarded shit, just like fucking laughing.
Yeah, no, I mean if you've seen the Lego Batman movies and stuff the LegoMovie and stuff like that, their comedy is fucked up.
So,
you know what I mean?
Pre-order that game. I'm actually gonna pre-order the collector's edition because I always get those games. I love
those
games.
If you haven't yet, everybody go get the Fallen Order, the Jedi game, because that game is just phenomenal.
Oh, the Jedi Fallen Order, yes it is. So we move on.
Yeah. So basically, now at the same time all this is going on, we got Han Solo, Chewbacca, CP3O, and R2D2, and Princess Leia. They're going to Cloud City. Why are they going to Cloud City? Because the only person that Han Solo can trust is a person that he stabbed in the back many times.
Lando Calrissian. Colt 45.
Which is played by
Billy
D. Williams.
Two-Face in the 89 movie.
Yeah, no, well, he was never became Two-Face.
But-
He was just Harvey Dent.
So one thing I love, and this is something great about the Batman movie, is the fact that he was Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie.
That's awesome. Because it's like finally he got to play that role.
You see him as the land.
He's like, yeah, I finally fucking became it, motherfuckers.
I loved it.
Billy D. Williams back in the 70s was
Billy
a
D.
fucking very big African American actor. If you guys don't know who he is,
was his.
he was the heartthrob of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. And everyone loved their Colt 45.
But so for Cloud City, just alone looked amazing.
Cloud City was a cool looking city. It was like all up in. It was like all a Cloud City. It was all in the sky. It was kind of very like technical.
Shouts out to my brother. That shit was like Doug's Mansion, baby.
It was like technology advanced in that city. Like everything had to do with technology. If you notice, everything else wasn't as much.
I mean, the place was supposed to be like this peacekeeping, you know, where it was out of jurisdictions and they moved around enough to not be caught by the Imperials and everything like that. So they go there.
Yeah.
And, you know, Han Solo's all scared to see Lando. He's like, I hope he doesn't remember the last thing that we did, which was in Solo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to watch that. Now, a little back story behind them. Lando was the original owner of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
He won it in a card game.
Yep.
And Han Solo sort of stole it from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can understand why he'd be mad.
Yeah. I'd be mad.
But he you know, it's funny because they thought that there was going to be like a greeting.
Yeah.
Like waiting for them, and nothing happened. You know what I mean? But before all this stuff, this is where the shit starts hitting the fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we go into this place and you can just tell from the jump there's something off. There's something wrong. There's something's going on. Yeah. People start disappearing. Fucking CP3O disappears. Where the fuck did he go? He ends up being a pile, being about to be thrown into a furnace and shit. You know what I mean? Then you got, Lando hitting on Leia, which automatically pissed off Han Solo. He's like, yeah, get the fuck away from my girl. You know what I mean? But before all this happened, when they were in that ice planet, we got the first glimpse of one of the most iconic characters ever. Yeah. And he's the reason why this next scene happens, which is Boba Fett.
So you actually got a glimpse of pretty much the bounty hunters in general.
What this man is about, because I specifically did not mention him before this because they were supposed to lead to believe they made it there. Yeah. But in reality, they were actually being trailed by a bounty hunter who was after Han Solo. Yeah. Who the bounty hunter worked for Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. We don't know. We know that because of the extra stuff made in A New Hope.
And I kind of like, honestly, I delete that shit out of my head, and I kind of.
I just like the breaking of the fourth wall. He looks right at us, man. You know what I mean? I love that.
So we got introduced to all the bounty hunters, and there were so many of them that was up there. One of the most iconic ones besides Boba Fett is IG-88, which is a straight up droid. Bounty hunter, which
is
if you
now
watch Mandalorian,
recently famous because of Mandalorian. Yeah,
he's talked by the director of Thor Ragnarok.
Okay,
that's his voice.
Which is the guy who did What We Do in the Shadows and Jojo Rabbit,
and he was the rock guy in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
That's the voice of IG-88.
But so
IG whatever he is.
So what happens is Lando lures them into like a dinner.
Yep.
And then he opens up the door, and who's standing there? Darth Vader.
He's like, "Guess what, motherfuckers?"
He's like, "Sit down, let's talk." And what happens? Han Solo shoots first again.
So he shoots.
He starts shooting at fucking Darth Vader, and Darth Vader just puts his hands up like, "Sit down, little bitch." you're fucking with a different caliber person here. You know what I mean?
You know. I think there's a big chance that Han Solo just fucked up the dinner, as in...
They could have had a fine-ass meal,
I know,
bro.
Darth Vader came in and was like, yo, I'm just here for dinner. You try to shoot at me.
Well, no matter what, Han Solo was fucked because the bounty hunter was going to get his bounty.
Yeah, that's true.
So, basically, what Lando did, Darth Vader got there before them because the bounty hunter, Boba Fett, told him about it. So, they went there earlier and promised Lando that Cloud City would be not touched.
Yeah.
They can basically keep running the way they do. And to Lando, like, I get why he
there was
did
more.
it.
There was more people involved.
It's more of a, like, I'm going to sacrifice you for the greater good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at the time, we're like, fuck you, Lando.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. I'll throw you off this fucking Cloud City.
Lando.
I understand it, too.
I understand that.
But I would have smacked Billy Dee in the throat. I would have had to do it.
He would have smooth talked you, and you would have been like,
Princess Leia was hip to his game from the jump.
Leia.
Leia, as we don't know at this time, she's one with the Force.
She
you know
is
what I mean?
one with the
And
Force.
Billy D.
Actually,
Williams
we learned it.
was trying to give her the Force.
We learned that on the spaceship, and we got to that. So, but yeah, so Darth Vader was there, like, surprise, motherfuckers.
So then we go to that epic scene
Yeah.
where Darth Vader gives Boba Fett his bounty.
Yeah.
And what does he do?
Puts him in carbonite.
As he's going into carbonite.
So originally, the carbonite was a test for Luke. So he tested Han Solo in the carbonite to make sure he didn't die.
Okay, but they even said that not everybody makes
Exactly.
it. You know what I mean?
Pretty much him putting Han Solo in it was a test.
Well, the whole thing was also to have a cry out into the Force world so Luke can get lured into coming there. Darth Vader wanted Luke to feel the harm of his friends. You know what I mean? So, finally, we got Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Finally confesses her love for Han Solo.
Yeah.
And originally in the script, Han Solo was supposed to say, "I love you back." But what's his face? Harrison Ford felt that Han Solo would have never said "I loved you."
Yeah.
And he uttered those epic ass words, "I know."
Yeah.
Which was such a good, smooth ass Han Solo move. You want to be pretty boy, motherfucker.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like I just love that whole scene, and then the whole carbonite thing, and the way he looks. That I remember having that toy.
Yeah.
There was a toy of him stuck in carbonite.
Yeah.
If you go to the Rocky Point Barbershop right now, I told you about him, Anthony's Barbershop. He has the biggest Star Wars collection on Long Island. You know what I mean? He has a door-sized carbonite of Han Solo in it. You know what I mean? Which is cool. So now we go back to Luke and Yoda.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, my bad. I don't want to skip over this. Boba Fett starts leaving with Han Solo, and what happens? Fucking Lando starts devising a plan.
Yeah.
He actually tries to make up for his mistake. You know what I mean? Because he's not totally an asshole, but he is an asshole.
But he told him the pretty much the problem that happened. Like, he had to do it. If not, he was fucked.
Everybody's gonna die.
So
he's like, yo, and Darth Vader kept fucking up the original deal.
Yeah.
He's like, why do you keep doing this? He's like, you're lucky I even keep a deal, motherfucker. I don't know why I keep doing Arnold's voice
Darth
for
Vader,
Darth
motherfucker.
You're lucky I'd do anything for you.
I'm Darth Vader.
But so now we go back over to Luke. He senses it. Yoda's like, don't go. You're not ready.
Our friends are in trouble.
He's like, screw you. Like, I will be back. I promise to finish my training. I will do it. Yoda's like, don't do it. In the Yoda way of saying it. Obviously, I'm saying it fast. But he's like, fuck you. I'm going. Which I would have done the same shit. I'm sorry, Yoda. My friends and they're my family. He doesn't have a family yet. His fucking aunt and fucking uncle got burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he goes back over, and then basically we got Lando back in his Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
They take off. Han Solo is being carted away by fucking Boba Fett.
Well, we're a little. Yeah.
No, that's about.
Yeah.
We're pretty on point with
right.
with what's going on.
No, so because by the time Luke gets there, they're already gone.
Yeah.
And Luke is pretty much trying to find what's going on, and then he runs into Vader.
Yeah.
And then Vader and him have their battle.
Yeah, well, so now that battle, now he walks in like Darth senses him.
Yeah.
From the jump, and Luke does as well.
Yeah.
You know, he comes in, and then is that epic view of, once again, Darth Vader always elevated up above everybody else. He's like the supreme being at this time. You know what I mean? Like, and you can tell Darth, like, they start, like, Luke is very premature in his skills. You know what I mean? So he draws his lightsaber again, and you can tell he's scared, but he's not showing Darth that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Darth, at the same time, I don't know why I keep saying Darth. Why don't I just say Vader? But
Vader.
Vader, he's just toying with him. He's
Yeah.
not even like, he's like one arming it.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't shit. But his main focus, because, before that, I'm so sorry, guys. Before that, we had a view of Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who told Darth Vader to kill Luke Skywalker. And Palpatine was like, yeah, kill him because he's going to become somebody. And Darth's like, how about we just lure him to the dark side?
Yeah.
But little did we know at the time of who Darth Vader was to Luke Skywalker. So I can understand why he was trying to do that. You know what I mean? So back to the scene, back to the fight. They start fighting, and then Luke actually starts getting the upper hand.
Yeah.
And that's when you start seeing Darth Vader fucking start whooping some ass. Like, finally, we have him doing some end-to-end scene Rogue One shit. You know what I mean? Like, it took me to go back and watch it again to actually pay attention to the nonchalant way of his fighting. Like, he was, like, fencing him. He wasn't even fighting him. And then after that, he's like, I'm using the Force. I'm throwing fucking pipes at you. I'm doing this. It was a crazy-ass scene. And originally in the script, this was never supposed to happen. It actually happened as George Lucas was writing it. He was never supposed to be Luke Skywalker's father.
Yeah.
It just, one moment, he just wrote it in there, and it fucking worked.
Makes
you know
sense.
what I mean? One thing that the world always says is, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah,
it is
one
true.
of the most famous catchphrases.
And it's not even what he said.
Yeah.
He's like, you. Luke screams at him, you killed my father. He's like, no, I am your father.
Yeah.
No, and then he starts flipping out. He's like, yo, feel deep inside you. You know it's true.
Yeah.
This is after he chopped off his hand, by the way.
Yeah.
Which was a dope scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you either die or you come with me. And he drops down into the thing. And then basically hangs on as Darth Vader thinks he's gone. He thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
But he knows he's not dead because he feels it. And then he hangs on that antenna. And then he screams out to Leia, which is the first sign to Leia that she's one with the Force.
Yeah.
They went back and saved him. And basically that's the movie.
Yeah. There was a lot of... This movie I liked so much is the fact that the villains won.
Yeah. Well, Empire Strikes Back. Like, the good guys won in the first one, and the second one, the bad guys won.
But
they didn't really win, but they got one battle.
No, they
of
did
the war.
win with the fact that the morale of that whole Rebel Alliance were shit.
Yeah.
The morale of everything was shit. That was what they won, is the fact that they had them lost. They felt like they were lost. They didn't know what to do, and they had to regroup and replan. And it leads into Return of the Jedi, when they do their thing. But
which I think is maybe I don't know how to judge Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi I have issues with.
From what I recall, I haven't seen it in like a year.
Yeah.
But it might be the weakest one of the three.
Yeah.
But it's really important of the three, even though
Yeah.
it really shows some weakness on a real part that I wish never actually happened. And I will not spoil it for the people who have not seen it. But you've had over fucking 30-something years to watch these fucking movies.
Oh, fuck spoilers. Like, yo, there's 30 years that you should have been watching this. You have Disney Plus that has all of them. Go fucking watch it.
Get a Verizon fucking phone and get it for free, okay? Get yourself a Galaxy 9
it's not really
10.
free if you're buying a whole Verizon phone for it.
Well, no, if you already have the service and unlimited everything, you should just fucking download it anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
But this movie, I think, had everything all into one. It had the action, it had the betrayal, it had the good guys winning.
Had the visual effects. It was fucking dope,
the
man.
visuals were good. Even to this day,
I heard that they
great.
pushed every fucking penny that they could possibly put into
Well, they
this.
made all that toy money from the first movie, so there you go.
Yeah.
So this movie, honestly, ranks. It is my top Star Wars movie.
It is, by lore of Star Wars history, to be the best Star Wars movie.
And even one of my top 10 movies of all time, kind of thing.
And I said this in the first cast, man. Like, I was not savvy in the world of Star Wars until I was adult. And I will always say it like Step Brothers. It's like, damn, I wish I had this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. I got it better when it's better because I got it when I was 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not 40, but, you know, I got it in my 20s. But you get the point.
You understand.
I got it in an adult aspect. You know what I mean? Because believe it or not, these movies were meant to be for kids, but I can't even see that because this is very adult shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they were meant for kids. Like, what the hell was George Lucas thinking in his head when he's writing this for fucking kids?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever it is.
I mean, we're talking about the Dungeons and Dragons era. You know what I mean?
So, I guess the end of the cast where we review it.
Yeah, well, I want to give a couple shout-outs to...
We'll get to the shout-outs first, but review the movie.
Okay. Well, to me, it's a 9.5 easy to me in the Star Wars world. It would be a 10 in the Star Wars world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In movies itself, it would be a 9 in my book.
Okay.
In pop culture, it's fucking a 12 in pop culture.
I give it a 10. Like,
you know what I mean?
I give it a whole 10.
I think it was flawless. I don't think there was anything bad about it.
I think it did everything it needed to do. It showed a lot more of it showed like 10 times more than the first one ever showed.
Yeah.
It showed you different it showed you different planets. It showed you more of the dark side and like Emperor, and kind of got the first glimpse of Palpatine. You got the first glimpse of a lot of things that are going into this movie. You got the first glimpse of Leia being part of the Force and not really knowing that she's the sister, but because she's kind of kissing him too many times.
Yeah, well, but she doesn't even know it at the time either. But wouldn't the Force work wouldn't the Force tell them that?
Well, that was the first time she actually was contacted with the Force.
Well, but then again, she was doing that just to piss off Han Solo. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Which they did have one epic kiss scene, which they were gonna fuck if it wasn't for CP3O. I must say, after watching this movie and watching the first movie, C3PO pisses me off, bro. He's so annoying. All he does, but like his mannerisms, his micro mannerisms and stuff like that, the way he moves, he's very human-like, but he's very droid because he doesn't get the emotion of things, even though his body accents on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, that's basically my review. I think we gave exact 100% what is deserved for this movie.
I love this
you know
movie.
What I mean?
Honestly, I would say that I could watch this movie without the rest of the movies, and I'll be perfectly fine.
Well, yeah, if you're
just
starting off, like I'm
in general, I could see this movie without watching the others. I'll be fine. Maybe Rogue One. I like Rogue One a lot.
Rogue One is dope.
But so, this one, it was all around. I like the fact that the villains won. It was a different take of the fact that the villains won, because you never really saw that. Maybe in Rocky you saw that because the villains did kind of win in the first two movies.
Are they villains? They're just.
Look, Clubber Lang was kind of a villain. He won,
but he won in the beginning of the movie.
Drago
Rocky. See, the thing is, I understand what you mean with the Rocky, because Apollo won the first movie.
It was kind of a draw.
No, Apollo fucking
won, but it was kind of like, it wasn't 100% like given to him.
But you would have thought that.
Yeah.
The main star would have won, which was a shocker at the end. You know what I mean?
And then also you had like 3 when Clubber Lang.
But now this when they were making this movie, they knew they were making a third one.
Yeah.
So they did that right. They did it so it carried on to the next, and then the evolution of Luke Skywalker begins and ends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which it doesn't end until Episode 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But actually, he's in Episode 9 too. So spoiler alert if you haven't seen the fucking movie. But we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep.
This is I would like to give our normal shouts out, our ode to the listeners out there. I always like to give a shout out to my brother. Me and him has been hands down very big avid watchers and lovers of the Star Wars world. So. Yeah. He was actually supposed to be here today, but we have family things going on next week, so he chose to work today. Okay. And we definitely plan on getting him on the show, because I know he's just as passionate as I am about this. Okay. He actually just ran through every single movie in like a week, just really quickly. You know what I mean? So he was all ready for it. Shout out to my homegirl Snow White, who's tuning into us live right now. Yep. Always shouts out to Game On, and which is a retro video game store out on Long Island. They do everything from old school video games, consoles, to toys, to cards, to just general good conversation if you want to just fucking get up and do something. Yeah. Always shouts out to my boy Ray Sean.
Yeah.
Please, if you're gonna, what was their beer showcase? Oh yeah, one thing that we always do, we always drink beers while we do our cast.
One called Stone IPA. It's their basic IPA, which is quite good. And we have Lagunitas, our usual.
Of course. Always give a shout out to my boy Michael Wazowski, because if it wasn't for you, I would not be as passionate as I am about the Power Rangers. You will always be my Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. I'll shout outs to the guys that are on the chat. Thank you for Commander Pharaoh, Flying Grayson, all Snow White. All you guys are part of the chat. All you guys for watching us live on Twitch TV/Work with the Mic. Shout outs to the Recycle Inc. That's our group. That's what we do.
That is our channel.
All the podcasts are once I do Recycle Inc.
Please check out those other podcasts. Merc with the Mic here has the Wrestling Babble.
We have the Wrestling Babble, the Guest Spread podcast, which are our weekly podcast.
We have our also joint podcast that we do, which is the Morphin Cast. Everything about the Power Rangers, everything from Super Sentai to the Americanized version, up to the toys, up to just us bullshitting about it.
Exactly. And then also, we also have a Ninja Turtle one coming up. Don't have a name for it yet, but we're working on that now. But it'll be the debut of the podcast next month. That'll be probably a bi-monthly podcast. It'll be randomly kind of put out there.
Please always like, subscribe, comment, share. Please do your part so we can do our part properly. We are only as good as our audience, and our audience is really good. So we're just going to keep pushing out this product as much as we possibly can.
Please follow all our social medias. Follow me and Recycling on Instagram, Twitter, WordPress, Facebook, Recycling and the Wrestling Babble, SoundCloud, Recycling and Merc with the Mic, Twitch TV, Merc with the Mic, and Tumblr, Merc with the Mic and Recycling. You can find all those between there. There is a link tree on the Twitch. You could get all those links on the Twitch channel, so take a look on that.
Now, this is Not a Trekkie's review of The Empire Strikes Back. Next episode will be on The Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Until then, I am your host, Tenacious T.
I'm Mark with the Mic.
And may the Force be with you.
This war.